Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, March 21st, 2023. The time is 3:06 p.m. I'd like to call to order the March meeting of the Norwalk Board of Fire Commissioners. We have a quorum with Commissioner Destruge and Mayor Rilling. So the first item on the agenda is acceptance of minutes of the special meeting on Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any corrections, deletions, or omissions?
No.
Anybody from the fire side?
Nope, I don't have any.
Okay, so all in favor of
Aye.
accepting the minutes as submitted?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. There are no action items. Next is the fire chief's budget report, chief.
Yes, good afternoon, Mayor. I feel like we just did this not too long ago. So really not much change since our special meeting. We are 8 months into the new year, and we are trending in the right direction. We have a total of 60.8% in the overall budget, and we could be at 66.6 after 8 months. So we're actually doing good in that department. Just received a phone call from Tom Ellis that we have to deduct another $11,728 from the operating budget. We'll do it, and I'll get that over to him by tomorrow. Other than that, the budget, we're in good shape.
Okay, sounds good. You always seem to do well, and not only in overtime, but in all the other areas. So I'm confident that everything will be fine. Commissioner Destruge?
Grateful for your hard work and getting us to 60% in the 8th month. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, next item on the agenda, Assistant Fire Chief of Administration, Assistant Chief Conti.
Good afternoon, Mayor Rilling, Commissioner Destruge. So little progress report on all the ongoing projects here. The Adachi, our MDT software and command software upgrade. We're moving forward with the software. They're building it right now, and we're actually moving forward with the modem installation and all the apparatus. So everything's moving very well in that department. The station alerting system as well. We've started installing all the equipment in the buildings, and we're looking for between, assuming everything, we're going to start testing in probably between the May and June months, and hopefully we're live within the July month. So everything's going well there. For the buildings, the Station 3 floor, the funding approval was granted. I met with Third Taxing District. We're just trying to figure out the logistics, and as I get more information, I can, as far as the timeline, but that money has been funded as of July 1st. So we're trying to get as close to July 1st start dates, but I'm working with them on that. The Station 5 roof replacement project started earlier this week, and they anticipate a couple weeks of that, so weather permitting, obviously. So everything's going very well in that regard. And for the OSHA compliance, we're over 85% complete. We've completed everything up into our March 20th date, and now we're just the last few remaining items we have almost completed, and that's for the June 12th date. So we're on target. We're doing well in that regard.
You're keeping our risk manager up to date?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Greg and I've been talking quite a bit.
Good.
We've got everything.
I imagine.
Yes, it's going quite well though. Actually, we're going back and forth, and actually the firm that we hired, Gary, has been my advisor there, and he's been very helpful. So it's going really well. Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda, Assistant Fire Chief of Operations, Assistant Chief McCabe.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Under operations, first item is the department's 2010 KME tractor drawn aerial has been brought to Watertown to the Gowans Knight Company for its scheduled refurbishment. That work is expected to take about 6 months, and then once completed, that apparatus will serve as truck company 1 out of the Broad River station. Second item, the purchase of 2 new fire engines is moving forward with the department ready to award the contract and soon to schedule a pre-build meeting with the manufacturer. Item 3, we've received a lot of positive feedback from the Connecticut Fire Academy as to our 6 recruits who are up there. They're now 5 weeks into their training. And as I said, we've gotten good marks from them, good reviews, and positive feedback from the instructors, which is always good to hear. The next 2 laterals that we'll be bringing on have passed their medicals and their psych exams, and they will actually have also passed their background checks as of yesterday, and we will continue the onboarding process with them. Lastly, a meeting was held at PD on March 16th to schedule a joint agency active threat drill to ensure all agencies are trained on the latest response strategies. And we'll be working on that in April and May, and I think the training director may have some more on that in his report as well. Under
How are
calls-
How are we
Yes.
doing regarding staffing? What's our staffing level compared to our authorized level?
Well, once we have we're at, I think, 13 vacancies right now. If that's correct, Chief, 13 or 14. Once
Yeah.
we put on the crew, the recruits around Memorial Day, which is when they're going to finish the academy, we'll be back down to about 6,
Okay,
which,
very good.
yeah, that should be fine going forward. And as you know, we're looking to probably give another test in the fall, and we've had discussions on that.
And when will the 2 laterals be?
The 2 laterals will come on the same time as the 6 recruits come out of the academy. So we'll be putting them through a week of orientation once they graduate, and they'll come on as a class of 8. So 2 new firefighters on each of the shifts.
Good. Any questions, Commissioner?
Around
No,
June 1st, they should be on.
Okay,
Okay, I can continue with the calls for February.
please.
We had 660 incidents. So our average was 24 incidents per day, which is the same daily average as January. We had 15 fires, including 3 building fires, 39 rescues, 30 of those involving motor vehicle accidents. We had 368 emergency medical responses, 34 hazardous condition calls, 41 service calls, 117 fire alarms, 72 of those being unintentional false, and 46 calls categorized as smoke scare or good intent. Cumulative statistics for January through the end of February. For 2023, we are at 1,391 incidents and 2,196 total responses. And as requested last month, I've included in your report the incident and response numbers for year to date going back to 2019. So if you look at those numbers, you can see that we experienced a small dip in the first months of 2020 as COVID-19 became a factor.
Mhm.
And that decrease continued into the beginning of 2021, which was right after the Christmas, New Year's infections of 2020. So we continue to see that dip from COVID-19. With things back to normal at the beginning of last year, you see a large rise in calls, which continues into 2023 and is really just a return to normal with our increases that we would expect to see based on call volume. So I can take any questions on those.
Oh, I think I might have asked you with any trending, anything that you can spot that is something that's trending. We can identify why the increase, or it's just normal.
I'd say as far as most of the categories, it's a normal increase. If we're seeing a rise in any of the categories, it's probably mostly in the emergency medical responses. Structure fires, rescues, other conditions remain steady.
Commissioner DeStrouge?
Just wondering if there are any notable incidents, either in fire or in rescues. You used to report on that, which is.
Yes, no, Commissioner,
My specific.
I hope to get back to doing that as well.
Well,
And that's
I'm
really,
not-
it's
I'm not-
a tradition to a transition to the new software
Mhm.
that we're using now, the reporting software. As far as pulling out those incidents and writing up the paragraphs, I hope to be able to start doing that next month. But just in getting the numbers out has been has been a transition, and I'll be back to reporting on the fires and the rescues next month.
More specifically than the, than the stories and what happened on these is, I just want to make sure that we had no injuries or individuals being out for a day or two as a result of these incidents.
Okay, we'll be sure to include that next month. I mean, there's nothing significant at this point as far as injuries from calls or structure fires for the month of February.
Good to hear.
Okay, so now we have the fire marshal's report. I guess Fire Marshal McDonald.
You're muted.
Sorry about that. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Our numbers for the month of February have been pretty consistent compared with the previous year. For the month of February, our inspections numbers are up quite a bit for the month of February compared to last month. Notifications have gone down for this month, but that's kind of a flexible thing depending on the type of inspection that come in the most. In other words, if we do a lot of commercial inspections due to liquor license requests, the requests for final inspections for certificate of occupancies, that would lower the number of notifications that get sent out, which again would almost increase the number of inspections, but lower the number of notifications. So even though we're quite a bit lower this month, it doesn't necessarily mean that the inspection amounts were lower. We had a total of 221 inspections, 40 notifications. There were 4 public education events, and we had 21 plan reviews equaling $1,150, 8 liquor license renewals for $520, for a total of $1,670 for the month. The fires and code hazards that we got called to this month, there was a total of 10. And one of the biggest contributing factors was really at the beginning of February when we had that really cold snap. There was quite a few incidents of frozen pipes. And that actually is a requirement, life safety requirement for buildings that do have sprinkler systems. And we had a total of 4 of those. So that also increased the follow-up inspections that were due to follow up to make sure the necessary repairs were made. 6 fires and 4, as I said, the code hazard investigations for a total of 10. Anybody have any questions pertaining to those numbers?
No.
No, just the, I know you're still using the per diem inspectors helping out.
Yep, and we just got a notification. One of them, he's probably going to be out for a week or so. His wife just had a baby.
Oh, well, congratulations.
I'll pass that on. Thank you.
Okay, so next is the emergency management. Mr. Luca.
Hi, good afternoon. Just a few quick things. With Memorial Day coming up, we will do an event action plan for the Memorial Day parade. That's something that we've not done before, and it actually came up during the active shooter tabletop we did in February. So we'll get that in place and probably do that annually from now on, similar to the fireworks and Oyster Festival. And then after that, it really is, believe it or not, June 1st is the start of hurricane season. So I've already spoken with Public Works. We'll probably do a smaller meeting for, again, kind of a core group to walk through some issues. And then similar to what we've done in the winter, we'll do like an hour-long briefing with the full team just on, again, notifications, Hurricane 101. That may be a little bit more efficient than trying to bring everybody in together for a tabletop for a half day. So again, I'll coordinate with Vanessa and a few others on that. And then working on summer safety, and we'll start doing some of the updates on the website as well for changing the messaging from winter to spring, summer. And that's it.
Commissioner, any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
That brings us to Training Division report.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Good afternoon, Commissioner Destruge.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Training report, current activities, ongoing wellness coordinator. That continues every week. We'll be kicking off next week vertical and roof ventilation utilizing the prop that we built in-house here. So we'll run all the crews through that and demonstrating some new saws that are on the market. For completed activities, just one half day left for EMS, but basically completed. 3 of the shifts are now completed with their EMR, EMT, and CPR renewal. Good for 2 years. The SAFER grant, I put on that agenda as I had submitted, and that there was a last minute submission that we tried to enter as one of the fields was a little bit short on the character count. And although, a lot of time was put in, myself, Assistant Chief McCabe, Assistant Chief Conti, Chief Gatto, a lot of data to complete that grant. And, I would say as we had working with Rita Negre at the last minute, getting this to her a little bit late didn't really put her in a good position. So unfortunately, there was probably a lot of network traffic right at the deadline for that grant submission. So as she was submitting, having difficulty with minutes to go, and she didn't get confirmation that the submission was done. So and then the button to submit disappeared. So she does have a work order in with them and worked with the help desk right after that grant did close that same day. So we're not sure if that's going to go through. Not as optimistic, being that it's FEMA and probably a hard deadline, but myself, I would say I would have preferred to have that to her sooner. So I don't it's certainly not on her, but it was a lot of data to compile. At the very least, if they're not able to allow our submission to go through, we're well prepared next year for next year's SAFER grant. A lot of the inputs, the fields that we've entered, and a lot of the data and financials and stuff that had to be entered was time consuming, and that's all well prepared for next time if we don't get this in. But I feel a little bit responsible. I would have liked to have had that to her sooner and not wait for the end. As you know, when you wait, you can't predict the unanticipated. But I think it was some network traffic, with probably the website itself couldn't handle last minute submissions. So further to report on that. Hopefully they'll entertain our submission. I think that they'll see a timestamp and everything completed on time, just not allowing the button to submit. For upcoming or scheduled training, personal escape system still on the calendar. OUPV actually started today in Fairfield, which is a class that we scheduled here. There was a high demand out of Fairfield and Stanford. I know we have a lot of personnel to put in. As of now, we have one of our own members in that class. I hope to, I haven't seen any of our members sign up for the Norwalk class yet. It's in-house, and I hope to that they'll take advantage of an opportunity here that's local and convenient. So one class started today, and another one will start in about a month here in Norwalk Fire Department. Standpipe operations, we'll get into that a little bit more into spring. Marine training actually started today. And then as we've progressed in our engine company and ladder company training, now that the weather's warming up, we'll continue or start to set up the EVOC course. That's the emergency vehicle operators course. And, it's flags and things like that to kind of fine tune and check boxes in terms of what the state looks for and nationally recognized in terms of an emergency vehicle operator course for a standard of competency.
Sounds like you're very busy.
Mhm.
And we had a police commission meeting yesterday, and like the police, like the fire department, the police commission is doing a lot of training. So very proud of our first responders for all the training that they're doing. Shows that it's important. And I know you use that training frequently. So again, thank you. Commissioner DeStrouge?
I'd like to just point out that the Norwalk Police, 2 new members in their Marine Division, and they are attending the Fairfield class today. So they are, as you said, progressive in training and meeting the regional standard as well.
Thank you. No questions.
Okay, the next items on the agenda, local 830 report, old business, new business, and correspondence. There are no items in any of those. So that brings us to personnel. I will need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's 3:26. We're moving into executive session.
You're on mute, Mr. Mayor.
We came out of executive session at 3:59. During executive session, no votes, no motions were made and no votes were taken. Commissioner DeStrouge.
Yes, I move to affirm the vote that we took at the last session to approve Dale Roos's disability effective immediately.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Now I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Tina,
I'm sorry, Ms.
Aye.
Vogel, Ms. Vogel?
I'm sorry, I just wanted to, Commissioner DeStrouge, I have contracts that I need to sign and I just need to know how you would like me to get them to you.
The contracts, I already signed them.
I need Commissioner DeStrouge to sign them.
Oh, Commissioner DeStrouge, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you want me to pass by the office?
If you could, I'll leave them with Helen that way, no matter,
Is that your office?
yes,
Tina. Okay, at City Hall.
yes, room 223. I'm sorry, I just didn't want to,
We are adjourned at 4 p.m.
Okay. We'll see you. Okay, bye.
thanks, bye.